Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Efrem Graham. Ahead today, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sending a clear message. Israel will finish the job against Hamas regardless of international pressure for a possible hostage deal that could prevent an Israeli victory. We're going to bring you the story from Jerusalem. As Israel fights Hamas in Gaza, it's also responding to attacks from Hezbollah from the north. Now, U.S. intelligence agencies warn Hezbollah could also strike Americans at home or U.S. interests abroad. An historic first, indigenous people from many nations opening an embassy in Jerusalem, showing their support for the Jewish state, with indigenous evangelicals leading the way. And our Studio 5 preview of the new film, Ordinary Angels, based on the true story of faith and commitment. All those stories and more ahead today, right here on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
And we begin CBN NewsWatch today in Israel, where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is making it clear no pressure from other countries will force Israel to stop the war in Gaza before it achieves its goal of eliminating Hamas, getting the hostages released, and being certain Gaza is no longer a threat to the Jewish state. That statement coming as the Temple Mount in Jerusalem could once again become a flashpoint for tensions in the upcoming Islamic holy month of Ramadan. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl brings us the story.
Netanyahu says Israel is under pressure from inside the country and abroad to stop the war before achieving its goals, including the release of the hostages.
We really want to achieve another release, and we're also willing to go a long way. But we're not ready to pay any price, certainly not to pay the illusory prices that Hamas demands from us, which would mean defeat for the state of Israel. There is no pressure that can change that.
At the UN, the U.S. defended its veto of a Security Council resolution Tuesday because it demanded an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, putting talks for a hostage release in jeopardy. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said an American emissary is in the region working to reach an agreement.
And a vote for this resolution today could very well put those negotiations at risk.
Meanwhile, a relative of the youngest hostage and his family reacted to security cam footage released by the IDF showing her sister-in-law and two little boys taken through the streets of Khan Yunis on October 7th.
When we saw these videos, it really tore our hearts out. It was really difficult to witness Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir in the situation again after being ripped away from their home in New Oz into this hell. Everything still feels unbearable. You can see the inhumanity, those actions.
Meanwhile, Israel is considering putting age restrictions on Israeli Muslims visiting the Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem during the Islamic holy month of Ramadan.
We know that there are rogue elements, that there are extreme Islamic fundamentalist groups who always seek to flare up the surroundings in the holidays, in the celebrations, and in the prayers, and that we will not permit.
President Isaac Herzog says Israel seeks to balance security with its commitment to freedom of religion.
Israel has always and will always maintain freedom of practice and religion in Jerusalem, of course, in all religious sites around the country, definitely in Temple Mount, in the mosques, of course, pending security considerations, challenges.
It's rare that Israeli Muslims would be subject to such restrictions. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
While Israel is taking on Hamas in Gaza, it is also responding to rocket attacks from Israel along the border with Lebanon in the north. But Hezbollah isn't just a risk to Israel. New intelligence warns the terror group could soon strike Americans. Defense experts agree Hezbollah has the ability to attack U.S. interests at home or abroad. CBN's national security correspondent Caitlin Burke is on this story.
According to new data gathered by U.S. intelligence agencies, the risk of an assault by Hezbollah is rising alongside growing tensions in the region.
Hezbollah is a very real threat to us here in the United States.
Simone Ladine, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Mideast Policy, says the Iran-backed terror group has a longer reach than many others in the region.
They have sleeper cells here in the U.S. in many cities across the country. This has been documented in multiple court cases. And we have reason to believe that they also have caches where they have stored materials around the country in the event that someone hits the go button to start attacks. I believe they are pretty well prepared. They have been sitting in wait for the order to go for many believe for years now.
As official Washington proceeds with caution due to concern about sparking a wider regional conflict, experts like Ladine warn we're already past that point.
I think that we collectively are in an expanding regional conflict. And as much as we are resisting it right now, and the current administration is responding to it right now, we are in it. We should be reconsidering our strategic objectives. What's our end game here? And how do we get from here to there? Because right now, here's not a good place for the United States to be. It is not in the U.S. interest to be sort of on the defense.
Since the start of the war in Gaza, American troops in the Middle East have been attacked more than 160 times.
We need to be aligning with our partners, the Israelis, the British, and some others, and maybe share some targeting packages and start executing some military operations to make sure that the Iranians, but also our other adversaries who are watching, so that they understand that a red line has been crossed, Americans have been killed, the disruption of global shipping is not something that we are willing to accept, and let's change the dynamic.
Iran remains the common element between all of these players, and Ladine says the regime has complete control over its proxies. Still, official messaging coming from Iranian leadership following these most recent attacks: we're not after a war with the U.S., but will respond strongly if, quote, an oppressive country or force wants to bully us. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Washington.
Coming up, people from many nations establishing the first Indigenous embassy in Jerusalem, with Indigenous evangelicals leading the way. We're going to take a look at how God is using these groups to support the Jewish people and how this event represents the Bible coming to life. We're going to have that story for you when we come back. Stay with us.
Introducing a brand new way to start your morning. Get your daily quick start from CBN News. A quick read on the important news of the day delivered right to your inbox. Stay current on breaking news, politics, and entertainment. Discover how God is moving around the world and here at home. Plus, get exclusive stories and daily scripture encouragement just for you. Stay informed. Go to quickstart.news and subscribe today.
People from many nations traveled to Jerusalem and opened the first ever Indigenous embassy. As CBN Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell reports, the event marks what some believe may be an historic and even prophetic beginning.
Jerusalem Deputy Mayor Flor Hassan Nahum played a key role in establishing the embassy.
When I was approached by the Indigenous Coalition for Israel about a year ago about their dream to open an embassy in Jerusalem, I couldn't think of a better expression, and this was before the war.
The coalition chose the Friends of Zion Museum as its home.
They're coming from all the different cultures, and guess who's leading the way? The evangelicals. It's the evangelical indigenous leaders that are coming in from all over the world to represent their groups. And they'll be the ambassadors for this Indigenous embassy.
So we stand here with you today in your eternal city and declare that as Indigenous peoples, we recognize that Jews are the Indigenous people of this land, and we stand with you in your struggle.
Dr. Sherry Trotter, co-founder of New Zealand's Holocaust and Anti-Semitism Foundation, established the Indigenous Coalition for Israel.
I set that up to provide a platform for Indigenous peoples to stand in support of Israel, because I recognize that in my own country, the anti-Israel voices amongst our Indigenous people were very loud in dominating the narrative. And I just felt that we needed a way to push back on that and to show that there are a lot of Indigenous people who stand with Israel.
Trotter says October 7th led to a wave of accusations against Israel.
Almost immediately, we were hearing, it's like a placard, 75 years of colonialist oppression, as if that's some sort of a reason for Hamas to attack Israel. So how do we counter that? Well, we have to retell the story. We have to educate. We have to get the truth out there.
Trotter says the truth is the Jews have decolonized the land. That means they came back to their original homeland.
Our message tonight was, first of all, we love Israel. Most of the people of South Africa love Israel and the Jews.
Members of South Africa's Khoi Messianic tribe signed a covenant with Israel last year after their government charged Israel with genocide at the International Court of Justice. Tribe members offered an apology.
We are totally disappointed and horrified by the actions of the ANC government with their case against Israel. Unfounded, it does not have any factual basis. And we say to the people of Israel, we apologize for what our government did.
These groups see the Jews as the original indigenous people.
That's why God using our indigenous people to come and support the Jews.
We are coming alongside of them as one new man, grafted in, and just being amazed what the Lord has done through the people of Israel, the covenant people of the land.
Dr. Ate Mwala came to represent the South Pacific Kingdom of Tonga.
We not only pray, but we come to stand with the indigenous people of Israel, the Jewish people, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
They also wanted to show their support of Israel in one of its darkest hours.
Today, more than ever, after October 7th, and after the persistent delegitimization of Israel and the Jewish people by detractors who want people to think that we are colonizers in our own land, instead of the truth, which is that we are the biggest decolonization project in history. This is a way to show the world that Indigenous people connect with other Indigenous people.
Prayer leader Rick Riding sees this as more than a ceremony or celebration.
I feel it was a birthing. There have been a lot of people for a long time who have realized that the Indigenous people had a key role to play in God's purposes for Israel, because he said in the scriptures, from the ends of the earth, they were to proclaim the Lord's sovereignty and care for Israel. And so they're here, they're proclaiming it. So he's birthing something new for the Indigenous people at the same time that he's using them to comfort Israel and to deal with the whole lie that the Jewish people are not the Indigenous people of the land. As you heard tonight, one after another got up there and so clearly said, we are, no one could be more indigenous than the Jewish people are.
Many believe the opening represents the Bible coming to life.
You know, the word of the Lord says, that from the ends of the earth we hear singing, glory to the righteous one, and from the rising of the sun to its setting, his name will be praised.
May this embassy be a forerunner for the day that all tribes and nations will come up to Jerusalem.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, the Friends of Zion Museum, Jerusalem.
Still ahead. It is a heartfelt, true story of faith and commitment. We are getting a Studio 5 first look at the film Ordinary Angels through the eyes of the film's cast and crew. We've got the story for you. It's coming up right after this. And welcome back to CBN NewsWatch. Ordinary Angels is a true story of faith and commitment. A hairdresser makes a decision to find help for a father who's lost his wife to illness and is now desperate to save his daughter, who is suffering with a critical illness of her own. Hilary Swank plays the role of Sharon Stevens, the real-life hairdresser in this story.
I've owned 4 small businesses. I'm good at plenty of things. Taking no for an answer ain't one of them.
Daddy's in over his head.
You're asking us to reduce the family's medical bills due to hardship.
No, I'm asking you to erase them. All of them.
Was that funny?
Kevin, Jesus Revolution saw incredible success. Why is this story the perfect film to produce following up that film?
Jesus Revolution, obviously a big success in theaters when it came out. So we thought, you know what, why not follow this up with a story that every man can relate to?
Hi, Sharon.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to come by and give you this.
I just made dinner if you want to stay.
Would love to.
What are you doing? I met this woman. She's a mess.
Perfect. She'll fit right in.
Here we have ordinary angels about these ordinary people, a hairdresser, a roofer, that come together and help a community, rally a community to be able to save the life of a little girl. And so for me, from a faith standpoint, it's like I have an opportunity after we see what the gospel is to be the hands and feet of Jesus and see these people just kind of rally together. It's just very inspiring to want to be able to help our fellow man, uplift the human spirit.
$400,000 plus in medical bills. All 3 credit cards maxed out. And your income's only $3,600 a month.
Yes, ma'am.
That's not good, Ed.
No, ma'am.
I'm gonna put together a press kit for corporate donations, that kind of thing. Smile.
John, what's the backstory to getting this story? How did you guys come to this?
My part of the story is Dave Matthews, the fantastic singer. I had a meeting with him when I was an executive at Warner Brothers. And then at the end of the meeting, he said, I really should tell you about something that I'm working on and a story that I'm really passionate about. And he told me the story that is Ordinary Angels. And I was just floored. I couldn't believe that it was true, all the details, how miraculous it was that Sharon Stevens took it upon herself and sort of was heroic in this incredible way. And, you know, he sent me the script and I read it and fell in love.
My name is Sharon, and I'm an alcoholic with a splitting headache.
What personally touched you most when it comes to the real-life characters you're portraying here in Ordinary Angels?
Sharon is this larger-than-life, get-it-done, driven type of person. She's just a beautiful spirit and a reminder of really what's important in life.
Something about that little girl without a mama, sick, and the family's bled dry from all the hospital bills. I think I'm supposed to help.
Where do you think this fight in her comes from?
I think her fight comes from her being able to empathize. I think she feels almost like dying herself. So she sees this little girl who's almost about to die, and she's like, in a way, she doesn't consciously realize that saving her life, she's saving her own. When you are at your darkest and you look out and you see someone in need, you work towards helping that person and you find your greatest purpose without even realizing it.
My advice, find a reason to be here that's bigger than you are.
Alan, your character, Ed, has just lost his wife and is on the verge of losing his daughter. Where does he find the strength to continue?
Sometimes, you know, we just need the motion of one foot in front of the other. Like it was just one step in front of the other every day, not really knowing how to get there, where to go, but you know, falling forward was the motivation that kind of came as he kept journeying on.
My belly hurts.
Oh, you want to go on an adventure? He's a lone wolf that doesn't know how to ask for help. And we are spitting images in that way. And, you know, thank God somebody like Sharon came into his life, you know, and it's a really good feeling when somebody comes along to help you.
I will need to fly 700 miles to the Children's Hospital.
Are you telling me we need a plane now?
How exactly do you recommend we get a plane, Doc?
I'll get you a plane, I promise.
Hillary, would you say this is a miracle story?
If you want to define what a miracle is, I would say definitely all things coming together, a confluence of things coming together for a life to be saved. That's a pretty big miracle.
We are going to save this girl, you hear me?
We're gonna need a lot of shovels.
John, do you direct this film with a hope and a prayer when it comes to the audience, what you're hoping they take away?
I think this movie was such a beautiful example of putting faith in motion and getting it up on its feet. And I felt like what a powerful message to share with the world as a reminder that you don't have to be a superhero to change a life.
This is our last chance. If we don't take it, Michelle dies.
How did it become your responsibility to save her?
Because I'm here. Because I can.
Ordinary Angels is in theaters nationwide February 23rd, and join us tonight for an all-new episode of Studio 5. We are sitting down with the contemporary Christian group Cain. We caught up with the siblings during the 2024 Winter Jam Tour. They're talking to us about their musical journey and their latest album. It is called Jesus Music. You can catch the all-new episode of CBN Studio 5 tonight at 8 Eastern. You can watch it on the CBN News Channel. You can watch it on the CBN News app, or you can watch it on YouTube. Coming up, the Spirit of God moving on a major college campus with hundreds of students coming to salvation. We're going to have that story for you when we come back. You're watching CBN NewsWatch.
Download the CBN News app, 24/7 news from a Christian perspective at home or on the road. One place for all of your news. Breaking news alerts. Set daily prayer goals and pray for news stories. Read the most important news and watch CBN News Channel live. CBN News, because truth matters. Go to cbnnewsapp.com to get the app today.
The Spirit of God is moving on a major college campus. Best-selling author Jenny Allen reports hundreds of students put their faith in Jesus at Florida State University last Thursday. Instagram and Facebook posts show joyful students celebrating baptism and singing and praising God. Allen wrote 4,500 students confessed struggles with sin. Hundreds of them came forward to trust Christ, with some undergoing spontaneous baptism in a school fountain. Time now for your Wednesday word, and today's word is love. Know this: God is love. He is perfect love, and perfect love casts out all fear. Walk in his love today. In it, there is no fear. With this word, make this a wonderful Wednesday, and be sure to have yourself a wonderful rest of the week. That will do it for this edition of CBN News Watch. I want to remind you, you can always find more of our news programs on the CBN News Channel. You can find them there at any time, as well as online. That's cbnnews.com. Take a moment. Let us know what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can email us, newswatch@cbn.com. You can also reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Again, make it a wonderful Wednesday and join us right back here, same time tomorrow. Goodbye and God bless.